What up, y'all? So, in my book, I talk about three things that's very important that you need to know to get into real estate. And that's debt, that's inflation, and that's equity. In this video, I'm about to show you them all. I'm about to show you proof of it. And if you stay to the end of the video, I'm gonna give you a special deal. This deal is worth $1,000, but I'm gonna give it to you for free. You just gotta stay to the end. All right. So in my book, I cover debt. So people don't want to go into debt. That's what they like. Hey, I ain't owing nobody nothing. That's what they feel. That's what they was taught because they big brother loaned them some money. Now he want it back ASAP. So now they not trying to go into debt. But when you dealing with banks, when you dealing with investors, they don't care. They want their money back on this certain day. You ain't got to pay it back fast. You just got to pay them back with interest. That's all that they care about. So when you understand that, you will take debt and then buy assets with it and make more money. If you owe them once a month and you borrow $10,000, how many times do you think you can turn $10,000 over in 1 month? I know if somebody gave me $10,000 and told me to pay them back 11 in a year, I would make $100,000 off of that $10,000. And I'm about to show you exactly what I mean. So this right here, this is the exact contract that I signed when I bought my first duplex. In this contract, it's a lease with an option to buy. This is the first thing people don't understand. When you go in to buy a home, only thing it is a piece of paper saying that you will buy this home on this date for this price. That's what this piece of paper is. So what happened was I got out of prison, and 5 months out of prison, I was in the stock market. I was trading stocks. Trump was in there. He was doing this thing, talking, and it was making the stock market move up and down like crazy. You would make $1,000 in one day if you knew what you were doing. So that's how I got my money to get into real estate. I was 5 months out of prison. People keep asking me, how do you get it so quick? That's how I got it, the stock market. But I'm not pushing the stock market on people because I know how risky the stock market is if you don't study. I was in prison for 8 years. I studied the stock market day and night. So I kind of knew what I was doing. But people want to jump in, and then when they see that their money done lost value, now they want to jump out. And that's the worst thing you can do. So I'm pushing real estate because I feel like real estate is a way that anybody can get in and not lose their head. And you don't need a lot of experience to do this. So that's the contract we signed. This contract is a lease with an option to purchase. So what happened was I paid $9,500 for a $95,000 building. I put 10% down, and he gave me 3 years to pay him back. So that's how I got in. So I took $9,500 and I went into debt, $85,000. So what essentially happened was I gave him $10,000 and I owed him $85,000 in 3 years. I did not know how I was going to make $80,000 in 3 years, but I know that it's possible. So I'm about to show you what I did. One thing you need to remember with real estate is you need 2 years on your job. That's what look good to banks, 2 years on your job. It's a couple exceptions where they'll let you slide, but 2 years on your job, you pretty much good. So if you working at a fast food restaurant, I highly advise you to stay there for 2 years. If you don't like your job, just stay there. Just thug it out for the 2 years and then get your property and then move on to the next one, because 2 years on the job is very important. or unless you go into the same industry. If you're in a factory and you go to a different factory, all right, now it's the same industry. But if you working in fast food, then going to a factory, then going to an office, then going to a nursing, now the banks is like, this guy, he just all over the place. Will he pay us our money back? Probably not. So keep that in mind. All right. So when I went into debt, one thing that happened was inflation. I cover inflation in the book because inflation is important to understand that your money is becoming worth less. It's worthless. Every day that passes, your money decreases because the price of gas go up, the price of food go up, clothing go up. So if you got $10,000 sitting in a sock drawer, in 2 years, you won't be able to buy the same amount of things that you could have bought with that $10,000. So inflation is very important to understand. That's why I cover it in my book. So what happened was I gave the man $10,000 and inflation happened. Now the building that he sold me for $95,000, it went up in price because of inflation. So therefore, I gained equity. Equity is the money that you owe minus the money that the building is worth. So this right here, this is an appraisal for the building that I bought. When I bought the building, it appraised at $91,000 and he sold it to me for $95,000. So he made his money on the front end. And I bought it because I knew the power of debt. I knew the power of inflation. And I understand that more than likely a home will go up in value. So I paid the extra money. I didn't know that it would do what it did. So this is a appraisal for the building. 2 years ago, it was worth $91,000. Today, it's worth $135,000. So what that means is I bought the building. I took $10,000. I had $10,000 in equity. But since inflation happened, now I have $45,000 in equity. I took $10,000 and turned it into $45,000, and I didn't do anything. I just sat, let the building appreciate, and now I can go into the bank and get $40,000. That's the power of real estate, and that's why I push real estate as opposed to pushing the stock market, because with that real estate, I still have somewhere to live. With that real estate, I can still sell it at a higher profit. Someone always gonna need somewhere to stay. So that's why I tell people to get into real estate first, to get that mortgage payment down, get that rent gone. You paying rent every month is just flushing it down the toilet. So I advise anybody who is serious about investing, serious about getting their life on track, I advise everybody to get into real estate first and then start your business. Because if you start your business, now you got a business expense. Now you still got rent. You probably got rent on the building, So get you some income coming in where you can save money, like actually be able to save money in the future. And real estate is the best way to do that. Now, what happened was he gave me the building. Now I'm the landlord of the building. I'm making money. Now my expenses, my living expenses is near zero. Now I can actually save money. Now I can actually invest in different things. And at the same time, the value of the building is going up. So not only is my money working for me, I'm living for free. So that's two ways that I'm making money by doing one thing. Two birds with one stone. I'm making money by the inflation happening and me growing into equity, and I'm also making money by me saving money on my living expense. My living expense is near zero, and the money that I had is increasing in value. This is the reason why most minorities are behind in life, because we don't know this information. It's the reason why most people don't sell their real estate, because they know these things. Now, only thing you have to do is find a deal. I went to my landlord asking for a building, and now 2 years later, it's worth $40,000 more than I paid for it. I got all of the documentation to show this. I want you to understand how important this is. Now, if you stay to the end of the video, I'm gonna give you the exact same lease agreement that me and him signed. Only thing you gotta do is just inbox me, and I'm gonna send you a PDF. You take this contract to your landlord and say, hey, I want to buy a building. What you gonna do is you gonna write it, hey, I pay you X amount of dollars by this date, and then you have him sign it. I say, all right, I'll let you pay me X amount of dollars. You owe me the rest by this day. Now you got a contract signed. A lawyer will charge you up to about $1,500 to do all of this for you. You don't need that. I didn't have a lawyer. Only thing I did was had knowledge. Now you got the knowledge. Now you got to use the knowledge. Take this contract to your landlord. Say, hey, I want to buy your building. If he agrees to it, give him a down payment, and then go to the bank like, hey, I already got the agreement. I got the paperwork. I'm ready to close on this house. That's how easy it is. And that's how I got into real estate 5 months after I was released from prison.